Good morning, all grade 7 deaf. Today we're going to discuss about the laws of exponent for multiplication. This lesson is important before we go to multiplying polynomials. Our lesson objective is to state the laws of exponent for multiplication for the following cases. Number 1, product with the same base. Number 2, power raised to a power. And number 3, product raised to a power. So let's begin with number 1, product with the same base. So if you have noticed here, the base is letter A. And the exponents are M and N. M and N, exponent. It means the number of times that the base is being raised or multiplied by itself. So A is raised to the M power or multiplied to the M times, and the other one is A is multiplied to the nth time. Okay, so the law states that if they have the same bases, you just have to add the exponents. So A raised to the power of M multiplied by A raised to the power of N is equal to A to the power of M plus N. So the exponents are being added when you multiply the same bases. Okay, so let's take for example number 1. A raised to 2 multiplied by A raised to 3 is equal to, so simply add the two exponents, 2 and 3. So it's equal to A raised to the power of 5. So it's very easy. Just have to remember that if they have the same base, you just have to, the law states, you just have to add the exponents, as you can see in this example. Okay, let's move on to example number 2. X times x to the power of 2. So you notice x here has no indicated power or exponent. We have to always think that the exponent, if you cannot see the exponent, it always means that the exponent is equal to 1. So 1 is hidden all the time. So x means it has one exponent as the exponent or its power. So x raised to 1 times x raised to 2 is equal to add the exponents, the two exponents, base, and then the exponent 1 plus 2. So x raised to 1 plus 2 is equal to x raised to 3. So very easy. Just add the exponents of the same, with the same bases. So this means product with the same base. For our next example, we have 3 the same bases. So m raised to the power of 2 times m raised to the power of 3 times m raised to the power of 4. So you simply add all the exponents because they have the same base, which is m. So it is equal to m raised to the power of 2 plus 3 plus 4. So the answer is m raised to the power of 9. So add all the exponent. 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 9. The answer is m raised to the power of 9. Another example. Here we have two different variables, x and y. So they are two different variables. You cannot add their exponents because the law says that you can only add exponents of the same basis. So in this case, you can only add x and x, exponents of x and exponents of y and y. So okay, so in this case, x, y, parenthesis means multiplication or times, no? So xy times x raised to the power of 2 y, and then times x y to the power of 3. So this is equal to, be very keen about this. First, you have to add all the exponent of x. So x, the first term has 1 exponent, the second is 2, and the third has 1. So simply add 1 plus 2 plus 1. Enclose this with the parenthesis, and then we'll continue with y, the exponents of y. Y, on the first term, it has 1 as an exponent, and then on the second, it has also 1, and then on the third, 3. So simply add 1 plus 1 plus 3. So let's proceed to the final answer. So add up all the exponents of x. So 1 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 4. So x fourth to the power of 4. And then y, add 1 plus 1 plus 3 equals 5. So the final answer is x raised to the power of 4, y raised to the power of 5. Okay. Another example. When you have already a numerical coefficient, what are you going to do? So in this example, number 5, 2b squared times 3b. So we have 2 and 3 as the numerical coefficient. And then b as the the variable with exponent. So b and b squared and b with 1. So first, what to do? First is you multiply the numerical coefficient, which are 2 and 3. So 2 times 3, enclose that with parentheses, and then b, what is the exponent of the first term? First variable, b squared, and then the second is 1. So b raised to the power of 2 plus 1. So let's solve this one. Simplify. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. And then b, just have to add the exponents, which are 2 and 1. So b cubed. So the answer is 6b cubed. Okay, we'll proceed with the next example, number 6. 2x squared times negative. This time, we have a negative integer. So, negative 3x times x. So, first, multiply the numerical coefficient. 2 times negative 3 times 1. 1 because x has a hidden numerical coefficient which is equal to 1. The same with the exponent, a number or a variable with no visible exponent, it's always assumed that it has 1 as an exponent. The same with a variable without a numerical coefficient, it is always assumed that it has 1 as a numerical coefficient. So that is why x has 1 as a numerical coefficient. So multiply first all the numerical coefficient. 2 times negative 3 times 1. So that is equal to negative 6. So remember the law of multiplying integers. Positive times negative is equal to negative. So 2 times negative 3 is equal to negative 6 times 1. Negative 6 times 1 is equal to negative 6 or negative 6. And then for the x, you just have to add all its exponents, 2 plus 1 plus 1. So the answer is x4. So final answer, negative 6x raised to the 4th power. For the next example, 3cd times 2c squared d times negative cd cubed. So this time we have different variables which are c and d. So first, the rule says multiply all the numerical coefficient. 3 times 2 times 1, negative 1. It's not seen, but it's always 1. So copy the sign, negative 1. And then for the c, add all the exponents of c's. 1 plus 2 plus 1. So c, 1 plus 2 plus 1. And then for d, add up all its exponent, 1 plus 1 plus 3. So we'll simplify this further. 3 times 2 times negative 1 is equal to negative 6. And then c, the exponents, added exponents, is equal to 4. C to the power of 4. And for d, the exponent is 5. So final answer is negative 6 c raised to the power of 4 d raised to the power of 5. Now let's go to the second case, power raised to a power. So a power is being raised to another power. So what is the rule? What is the law for this case? Simply multiply the two powers or exponents. So in this case, a m is raised to the power of n. So to solve this is just have to multiply the exponents or the powers. So the answer is a raised to m times n. Okay, let's have an example. Number 1, y raised to the power of 3 is raised to the power of 5. So very simple, multiply the powers. The answer is y raised to the power of 3 times 5. So 3 times 5 equals 15. Y raised to the power of 15 is the answer. Next example. So this time we have a number or a base which is a number. So 2 is being raised to 2, or 2 squared raised to the power of 4. So multiply 2 by 4. So 2 is the base, and then the exponents, you multiply 2 times 4. So it's equal to 8. So 2 raised to the power of 8. So that is not the final answer yet. Just you need to simplify it further. 2 raised to the power of 8 is equal to 2 times 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 2. 8 times multiplied by itself. So simply look at my example how to solve it easily. 2 times 2 is 4, and then the other 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4, and then the last set 2 times 2 is 4. So simply multiply the 4 and 4 equals to 16, and the other 4 times 4 equals 16. So the final step is 16 times 16 equals 256. That is the final answer, 256. Next example, for power raised to a power. Mn raised to the power of 2. So again, what is the exponent of m? It's 1. So it means to say that 1 as the exponent of m is being multiplied by 2. So m, 1 times 2 exponent, and then n, the exponent is 1 again, and then multiplied by 2. So 1 times 2 is equal to 2 for m, and then for n, 1 times 2 is 2. So the answer is m squared n squared. Next example, for power raised to a power. Okay, a squared b cubed raised to the power of 4. So simply multiply all the powers. Let's start with a raised to the power of 2 times 4, and then b raised to the power of 3 times 4. So the answer is a raised to the power of 8, b 12. Okay, a 8, b 12. For our last example, we have a numerical coefficient, and then we also have a variable which is x. So 2x squared raised to the power of 3. So first, let's start with the numerical coefficient. So 2 raised to the power of 1 times 3, and then for x raised to the power of 2 times 3. Okay? So 2, the exponents multiplied. 1 times 3 is 3 raised to the, so 2 raised to the power of 3. And then for x, exponents, 2 times 3 equals 6. So x6. So 2 raised to the power of 3, x raised to the power of 6. That is not yet the final answer. We need to simplify the 2 raised to the power of 3. So if you can see in the example, we translated it to 2 times 2 times 2. So that would equal to 8. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is equal to 8. And then copy the variable x to the power of 6. The answer is 8x6. So I hope you understood all these examples. If you are confused, repeat this video. And so now I will give you an exercise for you to practice solving on your own. So these are the items for your exercise. Okay. These are the answers. Thank you and see you on our next video lesson. Bye.